Hi, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Yasmin and I'm the owner of Robles Designs, where we create drill-worthy websites and brands for entrepreneurs who are hell-bent on taking over the world. And today we are actually going to be chatting about something that is not so much digital, it's still business. It still pertains to your awesome leveling up, but it's not necessarily how to do something on your site or how you should do it, or best practices. It's still best practices, but it's more about you as a business owner. And the reason that I have decided to do this video is because I've been through it as well. With the holidays coming up, we moved, and not to get into too much of that, you can watch my personal feed if you want. I will be doing a video on what we've been up to, but there's just a lot of growth going on in the business, which is amazing, and a lot of amazing business owners who are clients, and them leveling up helps me level up, and I think just as invested into their success as they are. But with growing a business, you start getting gaps, and you start seeing those gaps and those pain points, and sometimes that can be a bit stressful, especially, well, not especially, but in my case, I am the owner and I don't have a partner, so it feels like it's all on me. And so I wanted to create a video on, mostly to remind to remind myself, but also to help you guys out, and to see what you guys have as ideas on how to deal with stress when growing a business. And yeah, so the main ways that I have seen it affect me is that things start slipping through the cracks. Your detail-orientedness is not as on point as it used to be. Things like starting to become late to appointments, or just tiny things that kind of slip through the cracks. Those are signs that something is up, and for me, those are signs anyway. But you can also tell when my kids, they know that I'm stressed out because I become the grumpy pants in the family. So any little thing will just make me go crazy. So they know when I'm stressed, and my husband knows when I'm stressed because I become the queen of grumpiness, especially if I'm hungry and stressed out. That is just no good. So yeah, so if you start noticing, and just, it's all about knowing yourself. So I become grumpy, I become more secluded if I'm in it working, versus out there. And also depending on how I dress, if I start wearing clothes that are really too casual, usually that's also a sign. Heels means that I'm doing excellent, but just start noticing those signs for you. It could be that you're also grumpy. It could be that you also start secluding yourself from others in your family, others in business, that you see those tiny things start to fall through the cracks, like the smaller projects, or following up with someone. Maybe you get a lead and you forget to email them. Those can be signs. So, and again, if you have any other knowledge about this, let me know, because this is all just me trying to help you guys out. And if you have any other signs that you'd like to share, or if you have any other tips for combating these, it would help so much. So a couple of things that I do, number one thing is having an accountability partner. So I mentioned that I'm a solo. I have people on my team, but when it comes to the big business, I'm solo. What I do have, though, is a husband who we are in agreement that we are very vocal when we are starting to become grumpy or stressed out, or start exhibiting those signs, and then we step up and see what gaps we can fill. Now with him, it's hard for him. He's not a designer, so he can't fill in the gaps of supporting with some projects, but he can definitely fill in with maybe taking off some time for work, from work and helping out with the kids. That is always very supportive so that I can just dig in and push through projects. So have somebody, an accountability, a person who will for sure tell you how it is and say, oh, you got to take a step back and you got to see where you're at. And then also a partner that, if possible, not everyone has one, but a partner that will see where they can fill in the gaps even if they don't know anything about your business. And then pausing and sleeping. So I am the worst at this, and I don't know if you can tell, but we're launching a lot of sites right now, and it's just very, you're doing the work, you're in it, and then you're not sleeping, and then you realize it's 3 a.m. and you're still sending out emails, and just giving yourself, even if it's just one night in the week where you know you have work to do, but you just sleep, get the 8 hours of sleep, or pause for a second. I will say go outside. I always try to avoid going outside. But go outside or go do something, go for a drive. I like to go to Target. I don't buy anything, try not to buy anything, and just walk around. It's hard to not buy anything at Target. But meditation, so I'm not a meditator. Where I have my office, they have, when I can get to it, they have meditations, and it's like quick and easy. So you go in, it's every Wednesday, you go in, you do your meditation thing, and then you come out, and it always makes me feel better. And it's only 1 day a week, so but it helps reset that week because it's halfway through the week. Journaling, my journal, if you were to look at it, is pretty much just, you would think my life is a living, like, it's just horrible. But I use it to, like, vent. So I vent about selling a house. I vented about business, about me missing a turn or getting lost in the city that I live in, which is the craziest thing. But so I use it to vent. And so don't read it because you'll be very sad and disappointed, but I use it to vent, and then after you write it out, you're like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad, or you're like, actually that was pretty bad, but now it's out and it's done. So journaling helps. I don't journal on a regular basis. I probably should, but I don't. I just journal when I'm feeling really stressed, and it really helps kind of just, it's almost like meditation where you just reset and then you go on. And then things that you can actually do. So my to-do list is growing and it's crazy, and I'm trying to delegate. But one thing that really helps is that I set a timer. I love whatever time I have, 30 minutes, let's say, and then I try to get as many of the small tasks done. So anything that is 5 minutes or less, I try to get that done. I try to follow up with clients, send out emails to leads, anything like that. Usually it's email, but sometimes it's just one little link that needs to be fixed on a website, or just me making a to-do list for my assistant, who is amazing and has been keeping me sane. And if you want to know who, it's Type A Consulting. They have been amazing, but so whether it's that kind of stuff, and it's just, you get to cross off all these little things off your Asana is what I use, off your to-do list. And then you can focus, and then those aren't bugging you. It's just like the one big project, and you can break those down into smaller tasks as well. So that's what I like to do, especially in the morning when I can just hit a bunch of done buttons, and then those are out of the way. And then use music or podcasts or books. The library, at least our local library, has free audiobooks. And you can use those so that while you're working, you can do that. You can listen to music. If I'm coding, I will typically have coding or more design work. I will typically have music or like NPR, something talk, a book. If I am not on calls, but if I'm doing something else, or I'm reading emails, it's usually music, but it's less distracting music. It's not music that I'm gonna be like jamming to. It's music where it's like focus. So if you go on Spotify, you can find the focus ones, and it's just like, they're good music. It's just not gonna make you, it's not Cardi B. You're not gonna wanna get up and like raise the roof. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. And then one thing that I do enjoy doing when things are like super stressful is organizing. So I'm not the best organizer. If you want an organizer, one of my clients, Michelle Damke, she is amazing. She will do it all. She will help you. But I will at least, so I can also tell, one of my signs is that my desk starts getting like piles and piles, like right now might not be as the neatest, but I start getting piles and piles of stuff all over my desk and at home and everywhere, especially the miscellaneous drawer, anything like that. It'll start getting messy. So what I do is I take a couple minutes and I start reorganizing everything. I dump everything out, and maybe more than a couple minutes, but I dump everything off the tables and out of the drawers, and then I will just start piling it up into doable piles, and then start organizing everything so that a clean desk is going to make me feel so much better, and then I can focus on what I get to do. Yeah, that is what I do when things are getting a bit stressful, things are getting a bit hectic in business, and you're growing, but you have no idea what you're doing. It's just like your head's gonna explode, but you're so excited and happy about it, but at the same time, you're like, what is happening, and how do I keep this momentum going, and how do I then not implode? So that is a few things that I do. If you have any other tips and suggestions on, as a business owner or as a person in general, as a human being, how you deal with stress and what cool things you do, maybe especially the short ones, like if you have a little trick that you do that takes about 5 minutes and then you can get back to what you were doing, that would be amazing. So let me know, and I will see you soon or chat with you soon. If you have any questions pertaining to digital design or anything like that, email me, Yasmin@roblesdesigns.com, or catch me on Instagram. Other than that, I hope to see you at the next video, and I hope you have a less stressful holiday season, and that your business is growing, but that you have been able to just look it in the eye and handle this stress and enjoy yourself a little bit. Okay,